Scooter is ready to go. I'm ready to go. And it looks like the day is a very nice one for my ride back to Mae Sot through the mountains. Check this out. So different from yesterday morning. So my decision to stay in Sam Ngao one more day and to leave today was a very good one. Yesterday, I had a chance to meet up with an Australian man named Brett. He lives in a village near Sam Ngao, actually, and he's also a YouTuber, which is why I mention him. Brett and Sam in Thailand is the name of his YouTube channel. It's kind of a new thing he just started, and we got to know each other through YouTube. So I met up with him yesterday, and we had a bubble milk tea, sat around and chatted for a while. And one thing he told me is the name of this town, Sam Ngao, is actually related to the Buddhist shrine that I went to yesterday. I told the whole story about the history of that shrine, where the queen, or the prospective queen, saw a shadow of 3 Buddha images on the cliff. And it turns out that the name Sam Ngao means something like 3 shadows. So that's where the whole town gets its name from. Yeah, I had no idea. Oddly enough, I think Brett knew what the name meant, but he hadn't actually heard that story. So we shared information that way. You'd think that coming here, the Bhumibol Dam would have made the biggest impression on me. But as I'm leaving Sam Ngao, it isn't really the dam that I'm thinking about. I'm thinking mainly about, I guess, 3 other things that kind of impressed me about this town and about staying here. The first one is probably just the rural setting. It's a beautiful little town. I love the narrow streets, covered on all sides by green trees, and I guess it helps that it's the rainy season. And of course, all the land surrounding us is rice farming land. So everywhere you go, you're in the middle of gorgeous, lush farming country. Green rice fields right now, again, because of the rainy season. The other thing that strikes me about this town in this area is the river, the Ping River. I guess any town that has that is lucky enough to have a river running through it gives it a very special quality. And the more time I've spent in this area, just riding around and getting close to the river and getting a chance to look at it, the more I appreciate it. Did I say 3 things? I think I did. And I think the third thing that I'm just going to remember about this town and my visit here is the whole 3 shadows story. I love a town that has a good history to it. And I like the legend of the 3 shadows of the Buddha image on the cliff. That's really going to stick in my mind. So I'm riding back to Mae Sot now, and at the end of my ride, I have a surprise. Someone who watches my YouTube videos, a friend of mine, surprised me with something in Mae Sot, and I'm going to keep it a secret until I get there. And you will have to watch the video to the end or skip ahead to the end and find out what this surprise might be. So I'm just leaving Sam Ngao. It's almost 7 o'clock in the morning. I wanted to get an early start when it's nice and cool. Best time to be on the road. And I'm leaving Sam Ngao by a different route, for at least for the beginning. I want to stay in the countryside and near the Ping River as much as possible. So I'm trying to work my way south out of the town along kind of a smaller road I've got the Ping River off to my right. Very scenic. In fact, here's the Ping River right here. I guess this view is not the most scenic because they're doing some kind of a construction here. And looking behind me, there's the Ping River, a little bit more of a scenic view. There isn't a lot of activity on the river. I mean, you don't see a lot of boats or even fishing or anything like that. So it's not an active river, at least not right here. But very beautiful, very atmospheric. A funny thing about my hotel, one of my many pet peeves, and it's a pet peeve that I really understand it, that this hotel asks for a key deposit. So you have to give them a small deposit of 100 baht in order to get the key to the room. And then when you check out, you give them the key and they give you your 100 baht back. But I never get my deposit back because I leave too early. So the deposit is really just an addition to the room fee. Yeah, I mean, I'm not leaving particularly early this morning. As I said, it's about 7 a.m. right now, which is not terribly early for me, but it's too early to get my deposit back. There's nobody awake, you know, there's nobody at the hotel. At least nobody visible. I mean, I could go up, I could go try to find a door to their house and bang on the door and wake them up and, you know, ask for my deposit back. And I'd be within my rights to do that. But of course, I'm not in the mood to do that. It's not how I want to start my day. I just want to pack up and start moving. So, yeah, like I said, I never get my key deposit back. That's just a fact of life. These dogs continue to astonish me. How long have dogs been, you know, humans' best friend? And how long have we had cars and roads? And yet after all these thousands of years, all these many centuries, they still insist on sleeping in the middle of the road. You know, they go out onto the pavement and lie down there and go to sleep. And you see so many dogs limping around because they've, you know, injured their legs, broke their legs in one fashion or another. And it's never dawned on them as a species that they really shouldn't sleep on the road because they're going to get run over. But the dogs here have also made a bit of an impression on me. The dogs everywhere in Thailand make an impression on me, simply because there are so many of them. So many wild dogs, pet dogs, every kind of dog you can imagine. They even have in-between dogs. They're not pets, like they don't actually have a house and humans that they live with, but neighborhoods will actually feed them and care for them. So they're wild dogs, but they actually have their own neighborhood where they live. So you get a whole range of types of dogs. And they haven't bothered me here because I haven't been walking around. I've just been riding my scooter most of the time. But late in the day yesterday, I happened to stop at a PTT gas station to get gas. And while I was there, I got some chicken from a local fast food outlet called 5 Star, I think, or 5 Chicken, maybe 5 Star. It's basically 5 Star fried chicken. So I got some chicken and some sticky rice. I sat down to eat it, and very quickly I had the 3 dogs that live at that PTT station came and sat down in a semicircle facing me, eyeing my chicken hungrily. And I went through a lot of mental a lot of mental wheels turning, wondering what I should do, because they're hungry dogs. I could give them some of my chicken, but then I thought, well, is that the right thing to do? Should I be feeding stray dogs? Am I not now just contributing to there being more stray dogs? Because, you know, 2 of them were male, 1 was female, and the female was very, very pregnant. So you know that this little pack is just producing litter after litter after litter of new puppies constantly. So the population just grows and grows and grows. And I wondered about the people around me, like the people that live and work at the PTT station. Do they want me feeding the dogs? Of course, you feed the dog, then the dog is more inclined to stay there, and maybe more dogs will come. So I'm contributing to the dog problem. But the main thing I was worried about was that if I gave these dogs my chicken bone when I was done with it, even if I left a lot of meat on the bone for them to make them happy, I didn't want these dogs to eat all the chicken off the bone and then leave the bones scattered around. I didn't want to give the dogs my chicken and then they end up making a big mess, which attracts flies and rats, and you know, it could cause a lot of trouble. So I just didn't know what to do. But by the end, these dogs with their big eyes staring at me wistfully, sad expression. They looked really well fed, to be honest. They were nicely muscled, so they didn't look terribly hungry, but they definitely wanted some chicken. So in the end, I took my big piece of chicken and I broke it into 3 parts so I could give 1 to each of the dogs, because I didn't want to have them suddenly fighting each other over the chicken either. I mean, who would think giving a bit of chicken to a dog would turn into such a mental exercise? But I had to think about this from like 10 different angles. So, and I also had to give the chicken to them simultaneously, because even though I knew I had a piece for each of them, they didn't know that. And if I gave 1 to one dog, 1 at a time, the first dog would probably be attacked by the other 2 dogs. So I not only had to give 3 pieces of chicken, I had to hand them out simultaneously so that I would stop any kind of a dog fight. So I've got all this worked out in my head. I know how I'm going to do it. But the one thing I didn't count on was, well, 2 things I didn't count on, 2 things I didn't realize. One was that, bridge. Look at that. Something else about rivers too. You get to see tons and tons of bridges across rivers, and bridges are always visually interesting. Well, I'm not planning to cross this bridge, but let's go out to the middle just to get the view of the Ping River. I'll finish my dog story as soon as I take a look at the river. Wow. I've never been a tremendous outdoorsy person, but I have gone camping in my lifetime, of course. And in Canada, I had the chance to go wilderness canoeing from time to time. Now, when I'm looking at this Ping River, all I can think about is whether it would be suitable like for a long distance canoe trip. That would be incredible if you wanted to do some traveling in Thailand. Start in Chiang Mai, but instead of renting a scooter, buy a canoe or a kayak and then come down the entire length of the Ping River. Go all the way as far as it will go. That would be a journey. But here, let me get off the scooter. And there it is, the Ping River. Gorgeous this time in the morning, just a bit of mist on the water. And it looks like there's enough water right now that you could go canoeing. I don't know what it would be like in the dry season. Let's hop over. There's the sun over there. I guess sunrise was at 6:01 this morning. I checked. It's 10 after 7 now, so that's the sun, an hour and 10 minutes after sunrise. And there's the Ping River looking to the north. And this is the direction that Queen, what was her name? Queen Chavademi, I think. Queen Chavademi would have been coming upriver in this direction. So that is the river, and that's where we're going today, over those mountains over there, heading towards Mae Sot and the border with Myanmar, off in that direction. Could not ask for a nicer day. Just absolutely could not. At some point on this road, I'm going to cut away from the Ping River in order to go further south. I can't hug the river much longer, but the road I'm going to follow is going to follow a tributary to the Ping, a very small stream almost, and it'll be curving and winding, leading to the Ping. And then I'm crossing a bridge down there, and then heading west back towards Mae Ramat and Mae Sot. From here, I have to head inland a little bit. I have to go inland in order to be able to go further south. It's just the way the roads and the bridges work out. But the end of the dog story, there I was with 3 pieces of chicken, 3 hungry dogs, and I've thought this through as much as a human being possibly can, and I worked out a technique to do it. But what I didn't realize is that when I held out the chicken in my hand, those dogs were going to snap at it, and they were going to snap at it hard. So the 3 dogs, they got their chicken, and they didn't end up fighting each other, but they nearly took my hands off. I mean, I almost lost my fingers. They snapped that hard. And I don't think I'm exaggerating when I say that I could have lost a finger, because this is the second thing I didn't realize. I mean, I was worried that these dogs would leave the bones lying around and make a mess. But after they snapped at my fingers, I actually kind of looked at my fingers to see whether they were bleeding or not. And then by the time I looked back at the dogs, all the chicken was gone, the bones were gone, everything was gone. These dogs had such powerful jaws and teeth. They snapped up the entire chicken bone and just crunch, 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 swallowed the whole thing. It was gone in a millisecond. It was incredible. They ate the whole thing, bone and everything. Just, they chewed it up and swallowed it before I even had a chance to look at my fingers and then look back at them. They ate it so fast. So you didn't have to worry about these dogs leaving anything lying around. They were going to eat everything, and they were going to do it fast. That was crazy. Anyway, lesson: if you are going to feed stray dogs, toss them the food. Don't hold it out to them in your hands. I was being a typical dummy because these dogs seemed so friendly. They were wagging their tails the whole time. They looked well fed. They looked well cared for. So I was treating them like pets. But no, they're still stray wild dogs, and they have to compete with other dogs to survive. So whenever any food gets near them, it's not like they're going to sit down, put on a bib, and get out some cutlery and delicately eat the food. They're going to snap it up and eat it as fast as caninely possible. And if your fingers happen to be anywhere near what they're going to eat, well, you can say goodbye to your fingers at the same time. I don't know what's going on, but my blue sky has suddenly disappeared. A lot of clouds moving in, and I felt some rain on my face. Huh. I think it's only temporary though. At this rate, I'm never going to make it to Mae Sot, but I'm now at this smaller river, the tributary, that I'm going to follow for a little while before I get onto the road that leads into the mountains. And it's just such a beautiful sight. I thought I would stop here to check it out. And they built a nice sidewalk all the way around the banks of this tributary. I don't know the name of it, couldn't tell from the map. But a lot of water flowing along this small river as well. In my video from yesterday, I showed how all the farmers were pumping water out of their fields because with all the heavy rains, I guess their fields actually have too much water now. And as with everything, they need water for their rice to grow, but at the same time, too much of a good thing, right? Too much water is also bad. Too little water is bad for rice. Rice needs a lot of water to grow, but too much is also bad. So they have to get the water levels just right. And everybody, all the farmers were out yesterday. Every field I passed just about, they were busy pumping water out of the field across the road into ditches or into fields on the other side. Yeah. Rainy season. Another small bridge across this river. I'm not going to actually cross it, but I just wanted to drive up here to the center of the bridge. Give you a view upriver. And yeah, very jungly on the other side. Heading downriver. Very beautiful. And this could be the name of the river, or the name of the town, or the name of the bridge, I'm not sure. This is it, officially leaving the Sam Ngao area and the Ping River, crossing the final bridge, heading into the mountains. Gorgeous scenery. I have to I have to stop for just a second and wave the GoPro around a little bit. There's the view to the south. The view to the west where we are going. And over here, the view to the north and back towards Sam Ngao and the Bhumibol Dam. Our last view of the Ping River, I'm afraid. Next stop, gas station. Oh, I lied. It's quite a long bridge, and I've reached a point where you've got the main width of the Ping River. Thought I'd stop for this last look of the river. Heading south. The river is also quite wide on this side, looking towards the north. I thought there was a big PTT gas station here, but there isn't one. I just found a small kind of neighborhood shop, but I think I can get gas here. Okay, back on our way. Topped up the tank for 60 baht. It's like 1.8 liters, I think. And we're heading into the mountains, starting to climb. Slowly working my way up into the mountains, and I mentioned that lookout point with the Italian soda. I'm looking ahead at the village right now on the hillside where it's located. I think that's where it is. Scooter wants to roll backwards on me. So there it is up ahead. The top of this mountain is actually covered in clouds right now, but you can see that little town on the hillside. And assuming this place is open, still pretty early in the morning, so it may not be open yet, but we'll find out whether an Italian soda is in my future or not. Getting the gas there was kind of amusing because I rode up, of course, and I had to take this backpack off in order to open the seat to get at the gas tank. And my bungee cord extravaganza was sort of mystifying me. I didn't remember how I'd wired it all up and how I'd hooked it together, so I'm having trouble getting it off. And of course, bungee cord hooks just hook on everything all over the scooter. It's almost impossible to get it free. And the woman who was going to fill up my tank, she's standing there waiting patiently, looking at this doofus foreigner, desperately trying to remove his luggage and not being very successful. I finally get it all unattached and my backpack falls off the scooter, crashes to the ground. I open up the seat, and I guess the woman herself was so flustered at watching me fumbling around that she ended up turning on the gas nozzle before it was inserted into the tank, and she sprayed gas all over the scooter. So now she had to get a rag out and wipe gas off the the seat area of the scooter. But eventually we all got our acts together and I ended up with some gas. But yeah, all right, let's go find out whether Italian soda is in my future. It's been a wonderful ride so far. Just can't beat a day like this. Here I am at my Italian soda stop. You can see the counter just behind me there. They're just opening up, so they don't have any of the food prepared yet, so they can't cook anything, but they were able to make an Italian soda for me. There it is there. I went for pineapple this time, so this is pineapple flavored. Skies continue to be beautiful and blue off in that direction. A little bit of cloud cover ahead of me as you go through the main high portions of this mountain range or hill range. But I think it'll still be okay. Oh yeah, look at that. Right up there, even still blue sky. It's about 60 kilometers from here to Mae Ramat, where you come down out of the mountains. Ooh, leaving from my Italian soda place. Oh. Back on the road. From here, it's about 1 hour to Mae Ramat. I think as I get close to Mae Ramat, I'm going to turn off onto a smaller side road. Instead of going through the town itself, I'm going to see if I can bypass it. There's a road that goes through Mae Kasa, where they have the Mae Kasa hot spring and the Ukasa cave and things like that. And that might be I haven't gone down part of that road before, so it'll be a new area to check out. My plan from this point was to go into the countryside again, but apparently I overshot my road. That last bit of time lapse in the video when I went through the checkpoint, I think the road I was supposed to turn on was right at that checkpoint, and I was so distracted, I guess, that I went through the checkpoint and then I kept driving, and it turns out my road was right there, and from this point I guess I'm just back on the main road again, which is okay. So this road heads into Mae Ramat, and then I turn left from Mae Ramat and ride back into Mae Sot. Yeah, I just powered through the hills there. I didn't stop to check out any of the places along the way. Just enjoying the scenery so much, I just kept riding and riding. And I completely forgotten that on this side of the hills, coming down out of the hills towards Mae Ramat, the road is really steep and windy. So I remember that driving up, how steep it was, but I'd forgotten. And now when I was coming back down, it was like, whoa, this is a steep hill. A lot of fun driving along that road. Through the mountains again. That was so nice. And I mentioned that today's small adventures and today's video was going to end with a surprise, and the surprise is still coming. I'm a little bit early for the surprise. I got back to Mae Sot sooner than I expected, so I'm going to sign off for now. Shut down the GoPro here with my arrival back in Mae Sot, and then next time I check back in with you, it will be to unveil the surprise, and that should be quite interesting. And now it's time for the surprise. The surprise is I'm not actually riding the scooter back to my guest house. B2 Premier Hotel, and that's because a friend of mine in Malaysia, thank you, a friend and a fellow YouTuber, he booked a room for me here at B2. And there it is there, the B2 Hotel, and I think I'm at the right one. This is the B2 Premier, and I think this is where he made the reservation. And I'm just going to head inside into the lobby and see if showing them the confirmation on my phone, whether it works or not. I'm just not sure if there's more than one B2 hotel in Mae Sot, or yeah, more than one. Okay, here's motorcycle parking. I was wondering whether there was a special spot for motorcycle parking, and here it is. So there it is, B2 Hotel. This ought to be quite exciting. I haven't been in a hotel like this for a very long time. I'm going to feel like an imposter going in there. Oh, rain is just starting to come down. Let's head inside and see how this works out. Got the confirmation on my phone, passport in my pocket. Should be a good to go. And two instruction signs here. Please wear mask, and no durian. That's how you know you're in a fancy place. They don't let durian inside. And here's the lobby area of the B2. I was wondering where their temperature check machine was.
Normal temperature.
Normal, 36.4. In the elevator, heading up to the 7th floor. It's kind of funny, I was talking this morning about how I had to leave a key deposit at the hotel in Sam Ngao, but I left too early to get my deposit back. And that was 100 baht for the deposit. Here at the B2, it's 500 baht. So I had to give them a deposit of 500 baht. And yeah, I'll definitely stick around to get that back. It's more of a room deposit, you know, not just for the key. One funny thing I noticed in the elevator, they have all these, you know, COVID rules and protocols. And they have these keep your distance footprints you're supposed to follow, but they actually have them so that you're facing the wall, which is kind of funny. So here we are up on the 7th floor. So you can see the world is soaking wet down there. I think it was just a short shower. Looks like the rain has already ended. But yeah, check it out. I haven't seen Mae Sot from this high up before. This is the highest I've been in the city. All right, let's track down my room. 702 is mine. This way. There we are. Fancy and here we are. Oh, interesting. A suite of sorts. Got a living room over here, and a little sofa over there. Kitchenette. I'm assuming there's a little fridge down here. Yeah, so we've got a fridge down there. And actually, yeah, you could cook here too. I've got a little stove. And a separate bedroom in here. 2 air conditioners. I'm not sure. Or if there's just the one here inside the bedroom. Oh, there's the view from your bed. That's very nice. Oh, room safe. If I had anything valuable enough to put in there, I would. Though, I guess you'd have to read the instructions to figure out how to do it. And bathrobe. So I guess my 500 baht deposit, make sure I don't steal the bathrobes or the safe or anything like that. And the balcony. Love the view. I think in this direction we're facing towards the interior of Thailand, over those mountains. That would be the city of Tak. And where I came from this morning was off in that direction. And I believe this hotel has a pool. There was something Wander Eats was telling me about how he booked a room that has a view of the pool, and I guess that's the pool down there. I don't think I showed the inside of the bathroom yet, have I? Let's go check that out. Here's the bathroom, separate shower cabinet over there. And of course they give you all of your fancy soaps and conditioners and shampoo, things like that. And there's me, definitely in need of a haircut again, I think. Maybe I'll take care of that tomorrow. Yeah, when you wear a helmet all day in this humid weather, you end up with pretty brutal helmet hair. Got to get that cut shorter. And I think that is it for my small adventures for today. It's a good day, as you saw in this video, waking up in beautiful Sam Ngao. Gorgeous weather all day long today, and that ride over the mountains. Yeah, it was just incredible. I enjoyed that so much. And then getting to hang out in a new home away from home, thanks to Wander Eats. I appreciate that very much. Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. Just spending a night here somewhere new, somewhere different. Oh, I didn't mention this, but one of the reasons I came back to Mae Sot was my visa is expiring again, and I have to return to the immigration office here in Mae Sot to apply for another 60-day visa extension. So that's kind of why I came back here, and I guess I'll be doing that on Monday. And that's why I was thinking it's time to cut my hair, get more respectable for my visit to the immigration office. I don't anticipate any trouble getting the new visa extension, but you want to look your best when you head into immigration. So one last look at the world out there from up on the 7th floor at the B2 Premier in Mae Sot. And with that, I will say goodbye, and as always, see you in the next video.